Welcome back, everybody. Now, with Christmas fast approaching, do you need some Christmas present ideas? Or maybe you've got a bit of spare cash burning a hole in your back pocket and you need some present ideas.
Yep, here's a few things that'll benefit you and your riding for £150.
Yes, we've got some great ideas for £150 and under, fear not. But before we go any further, why not give us a little like and a subscribe? Hit the bell button as well to get all the notifications, help support us at the channel. But what have we got first, Christopher?
We've got tyres, Rich. Now, tyres can make a huge difference as to how your bike rides, and for not a lot of cash, right?
That is correct. Now, you could buy one tyre or two tyres. Treat your bike and yourself. It can really transform the type of riding you do on your bike, can't it?
Yeah, definitely. You want to go lightweight and thin style tyres, fast rolling tyres if you're riding like trails or cross country.
Yep.
But if you're into riding more gnarly stuff like the downhill stuff or free ride stuff, those big, thick, sticky compound tyres are going to make a world of difference to your descending abilities, right?
I like it. And obviously, if your tyres, regardless of what kind they are, if they are getting worn out, or if your tyre is looking really worn out, it's lost all its edges, it's got plugs in it, it's got tears in it, then, well, it's definitely worth a change. How much is a tyre these days, Chris?
Well, you're talking around £50 to £80 per tyre, so get a fresh set of rubber on it. It's going to make the world of difference.
Nice. Christopher, what if the old skills are a bit down and you want to improve them? What else could you spend that hard-earned cash on?
Well, I think a training day with maybe an ex-professional or a coach could make a world of difference to your ride. And usually these are ex-professional riders that really know their stuff. So just a bit of cash can make a world of difference to your riding.
Yep, you can book in for a day or possibly 2 days. Depends, they do them often at trail centres, things like that. And what they'll do is they'll actually assess your riding, maybe see where you're a bit weak, maybe where an area needs improving on, or maybe it's something you've gone to them with. So you could be like, oh, my jumping's a bit weak. Can we improve my jumping game? And they will go through the basics or more advanced techniques and really help you get better.
Yeah, I think it's a massive way, a really good way of spending some cash rather than spending it on upgrades on your bike, just working on those core skills.
Yeah.
It's a world of difference.
Often overlooked as well, isn't it? Everyone thinks, oh, I need the latest and greatest parts, or I always need to change my bike to make me a better rider. And actually,
in fact, you're doing it wrong in the first place.
Back to basics. Right, next up, something a bit cheaper, a bit more affordable, I like to think. What about when you want to fix your bike, Chris?
Yeah, definitely. By buying some tools, you're going to save a load of cash in the first place because you don't have to be taking your bike to the bike shop to get all the work carried out. So things I would be thinking of: quick link pliers,
good shout.
chain whip, cassette tool, track pump. I'd get one of the booster ones, for pumping.
So you can do tubeless?
Tubeless, yeah, get all that sorted. Just a few items like that is really going to cut down on your costs and a good investment.
Yeah, or like multi-tools, obviously. So when you're actually out riding, you can fix your bike should you get into any emergency situations. And it also teaches you, obviously, the skills of how to fix your bike. So it's a double whammy of goodness on that one.
Exactly. When you're out on the trail and something goes wrong, it's an easy fix, especially if you've got those tools to make it so much easier.
Chris, I think we're being too helpful here. Chris, what is worse than having no suspension?
Oh, having no motor on your bike.
Incorrect, Christopher. This isn't EMBN, this is GMBN. No, it's not having suspension that works properly.
And we see a lot of people go to upgrade their suspension, and all they need to do is get their suspension serviced and get it working right.
Exactly. So things like a lower leg service can start for around £40 to £50, and then it can work its way up from there. Obviously, if you need new seals or if the stanchion's damaged or anything like that, or even just a basic setup to get the most out of your suspension, front or rear. Doesn't have to be both necessarily.
Yeah, it can make a huge difference when you're out on the trails, having that suspension set up right. If you're doing jumps and drops or you're just doing general trail riding, getting that suspension set and working as good as it did when you bought that bike can make a massive difference, can it?
Exactly. Something that is definitely worth taking the time to get it right. Chris, what about exploring some new trails, maybe somewhere further away you've never been?
Yeah, a weekend away on the bikes can't be beaten.
Mate, I like where you're going with this. Yes, potentially travelling to a new trail centre or an overnighter, somewhere like that, to ride some new and uncharted terrain could be right up your alley.
Yeah, I think we've seen loads of spots that we all dream about riding. It might be 100 or 200 miles away and you think, can't quite get there for a day trip, but make a weekend away of it. Pack the bikes, a kit, 150 quid.
I reckon it's doable. Yeah, it doesn't need, it sounds all singing, all dancing. Don't think of hotels and restaurants and things like that. No, think camping, think getting back to basics, think bothy. Yes, check this out. So me and Chris recently went away and stayed in a bothy. They're absolutely free, and it managed, we explored the Elan Valley in Wales. Absolutely free.
Wet day out, but yeah, roof over your head, can't be beaten.
No, great stuff. Have a think, explore and get out there. Christopher, I have got the urge to ride something a bit gnarlier, a bike park maybe, or even a mountain. What do you reckon?
Oh yeah, a lift pass, I think. For around £150 or euros, you can get massive days out on the hills, can't you? Up and down that chairlift,
Yes,
back to back
you
downhill runs. You can learn so many skills. And I think the great thing about these spots is that you can build up your riding, a bit slower at the start.
Yeah, true.
By the afternoon, you're absolutely flying, and by the evening, unstoppable.
Or in an ambulance.
It could be.
You got a bit too excited, I know. No, you're right. That is actually a great idea, isn't it? Because an uplift pass these days is what, 35 to sort of £50 at a bike centre. Like say if we go to Bike Park Wales or Dovey or something like that. And actually a lift pass can be not too much more. So you can actually get a couple of days worth of lift pass if you are lucky enough to live in the mountains. So I think that is actually a great idea.
It's a great way of, as well as exploring all the different trails, isn't it? I think if you're there pushing your bike up the hills, you're like, oh, I can't be bothered. But once you've got a lift pass, you'll be like, oh yeah, check this trail out, that one, do the whole park.
That's such a good idea, Chris. I'm going to leave you to the outro. I'm going to go do an uplift day. I'll see you later, mate.
There you go. If you've enjoyed today's video, make sure you subscribe to us here on GMBN. Give us a thumbs up if you enjoyed it, and get involved in the comments box down below about how you would spend £150.